Hi y'all, Karma here. I'm really excited to do the first video in a series that I'm going to be running where I'm going to take each month and talk about different things that you could do to celebrate and do rituals for that month. So the first month we're going to do is May. What kinds of magical things can you do to celebrate in the month of May? We'll be featuring a few Etsy stores and some of the different boxes that they have for Beltane, as well as herbs, stones, and different things that you could utilize in your practice, be it meditation, magic, or just some type of a self-improvement spiritual program. So, what are some magical ways that you can celebrate May? First, I want to feature the first Etsy store, and it is called EarthToElouise. And I'm going to show you the Playfully Purple Fairy Flower Crown. So, May, of course, is when all the flowers start to bloom and things start to come to life. It's also a month that's known to be affiliated with fairies. So I wanted to get this beautiful little head wreath that I can wear as part of my ritual headdress, if I'm doing something really special, if I go out in the forest and dance, that kind of thing, to remind me of everything coming to life. This Playfully Purple Fairy Flower Crown was $50 and it totaled $62.85. Now, it is really well made, it fits really well, isn't too heavy on the head, and really is pretty. I love these little pokey things in it. I will say that the little crystal that was on it somewhere did come off. So I do have to say that, but it wouldn't take too much. It's just the string came untied, and I don't know where. Maybe that was right in the front there. I don't see any other of those little crystals, so might have been that. It did come with this beautiful little card. Whoops. And it says, "Karma, thank you for your order. We hope the fairy who wears this crown feels absolutely magical in it. Kindly, Eloise." And here's her little card, and I will put the link to her Etsy store in the video information. So I'm going to wear that, so I wanted to start us off with that and start off with our festive May ideas. So May is mostly known as the flower moon, and one of the special things that I did last year in the flower moon was I took roses and made rose beads out of them. And rose beads can be made. I'm going to do a video on that and show you, and my special giveaway for 500 subscribers is actually going to be something with a rose bead in it. So rose beads are just made by taking a mortar and pestle and stamping them all down with water until they become like a clay paste. Now you can put gum of Arabic in there to make it stick a little bit more. And once you've got that clay, you form your beads, stick a needle through them, and you can make jewelry that way. So that'd be one fun way to celebrate the flower moon. Now on May 4th is National Prayer Day. So you might do something special on that day, some special prayer to the world or to those who are in need. And on May 1st is a big celebration that begins Beltane. So we'll be talking more about Beltane as we go on, and I do have some Beltane boxes from an Etsy store, from 2 Etsy stores as a matter of fact. Now in 2021 on 5/11 is the new moon, and 5/26 is the full moon. So as we go through some of these items, you can look at them and think about putting together some type of a ceremony for yourself or a meditation for yourself to celebrate the new moon and the full moon. Now on new moons, we're typically setting intentions, and so some of the things we'll be talking about can lend itself really well to that. And then in a full moon, we're trying to look at things that we might need to release. We might still be working on that intention. It might have changed in some form. And we might realize that we need to release some things in order to make progress on the intention that we'd set for ourselves. So that will give you an idea, if you're looking to do a new moon or a full moon ceremony, which kinds of items we talk about today will fit well for that. Now, the first resource that I want to talk about, because I'm talking about several of the boxes and what we've gotten in them that could be helpful, and I'm really enjoying this little book that I got from Tamed Wild. And I do have box unopenings of Tamed Wild. If you go to my videos, you'll be able to see those as well. But this is a lunar intention journal and calendar. And I just love it because for each month, it gives you information on the month, different things like the zodiac sign, gods and goddesses that are related to it. Then it gives you some different ideas and things that you could do for your for the history and folklore, and then intention setting and moon rituals. It also gives you a space for 2 readings, one for the new moon and one for the full moon, with different types of layouts than what you might normally do. So that's been really fun to have those as well. And then it has another page with the calendar and such. So I did want to share about what it says for the month of May in the Tamed Wild book. The origin of May comes from the Roman goddess Maya. Her name is rooted in the Latin words Maius and Maior. I think I'm pronouncing those right, which translates to larger and greater. That said, Maia, maybe it's Maia, is associated with growth. She gently uses heat to propagate plants in the springtime and is often paired with the fire god Vulcan. Following the growth of spring, Vulcan ripens the fruits with the smoldering heat of summertime. Beltane, the Celtic fire festival, also takes place in May. Ceremonial bonfires were traditionally lit as they believed to have protective powers. People would leap over them to ensure the protection of their cattle and crops whilst prompting spring growth. Fire is a symbol for the returning heat and is widely celebrated in May. That said, it's a great time to work with fire goddesses. The zodiac signs for May are going to be Taurus from April 20th to May 20th, and Gemini from approximately May 21st to June 21st. Crystals for Taurus would be emerald, rose quartz, malachite, sapphire, and green jade. And if you're Gemini or during the Gemini period, the stones would be moonstone, citrine, alexandrite, tiger's eye, and agate. The full flower moon, history and folklore. Native Americans referred to this full moon as the flower moon due to the blossoming flowers in May. Other names include the mother moon, the corn planting moon, and the milk moon. Intention setting and moon rituals. We honor the element of fire during May to celebrate the returning of warmth. The ancient people knew that fire is necessary for cleansing and growth. For example, farmers have used controlling wildfires to increase soil fertility for centuries. Humans are a reflection of natural events such as these. Sometimes, in order to grow, we must cleanse and release what no longer is serving us. On the night of the new moon, consider doing a fire ritual. Obtain bay leaves, a pen, and a candle, preferably green, for growth. Bay leaves are a symbol of prosperity, manifestation, protection, and cleansing. They can typically be found at your local grocery store. Smudge your ritual space, light the candle, and meditate on what you would like to grow. Write it down on the bay leaf and infuse your intention into it. Burn the bay leaf in the flame of the candle to release your intention to the universe. Now, you know, in Bone and Steel, we received that beautiful green candle with the bay leaves, and I did do that ritual with that, with the bay leaf and burning it in the candle, and the burning bay leaf smelled so good, and it was just a beautiful way to release that intention and to set that. It says you can perform a similar ritual for the full moon using a white candle to represent cleansing and purifying. Smudge your space and meditate on this past cycle, meaning the moon cycle. Reflect on what you would like to release and let go of. Write it down on a bay leaf and burn it in the flame of your candle. You can also decorate your altar with cleansing crystals such as selenite, obsidian, and clear quartz. So that's what the Tamed Wild booklet had, and I really like that they did give you both a new moon and a full moon ritual that you could utilize and do. So maybe during the month of May, as I do some of my rituals, I will videotape some of them and maybe a collage of them or something and put them up and have some of these rituals that we're talking about in them. So now let's look at some of the things that I pulled just from my collection to give you some ideas of different items that you could utilize in your rituals that would be appropriate for the month of May and for Beltane and some of the things we've already talked about. I like to start a lot of my new moon and full moon rituals with doing a nice bath. And so the appropriate things here would be any type of flowers because of all the blossoming flowers. And in Minding My Wellness, I got this in March. And as you can see, I have used most of it. It's an herbal bath salt called Unwind, and it has Dead Sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, red roses, pink roses, chamomile, passion flower, lavender, geranium essential oil. So really good ingredients in there, but anything you have like a rose bath bomb or anything that's florally would be a great choice for your May moon rituals. And then I just have my little spoon here and the little bag. When I utilize these, I'll put them in the bag and then put them in the water, and that way it keeps all the petals and mess that would be a pain to clean up in your bathtub inside the bag, but it still releases all of the beautiful color and the aroma. And then as I'm utilizing more, I just hang that bag up to dry so that the flowers and such don't mold, but it dries out pretty quick here in Arizona. And then the next time I just untie the bag and put more of the bath salts in to enjoy that again. And then by the time I finish, the bag's just full of herbs. So even though they've been used in baths, you kind of get stronger and stronger baths each time, which has been really enjoyable for me. I love really strong scents and such. You can utilize things like essential oils. And of course, any of your flowers, again, are going to be good essential oils to put in anything, as well as looking at the oils that go along with the intentions or the goals that you're setting. You can also make room sprays so that you can just spray that every time to remind you of your goals and your intentions and to bring that energy up. You could even do like a cleansing spray, a grounding spray, whatever type of spray will help you to accomplish whatever goals you've set for the month. And speaking of flowers, I have some different flowers here that could be utilized. Here's some jasmine and some little rose petals. And I've been collecting the rose petals from my rose bushes outside, so they could be used too. Here's some lilies. And then of course, we've got things like hawthorn berries. As we talk about Beltane, hawthorn is a big representation of Beltane, and this is where some of our fairy magic comes in as well. Now these herbs could be used to burn as incense on charcoal. They could be used to put inside if you're making an essential oil or a room spray. You can put those in there along with gemstones and essential oils. They can also be used if you're going to do like any wax seals. You can crush them up and put them down and then seal them with your wax, and that's been really pretty. I've enjoyed doing that. I have a white candle, and then of course they also talked about green candles being really appropriate. There's candles in some of the boxes I'm going to open, so I didn't gather a lot of candles, but it's always really nice to have a white candle like this where you can put an essential oil on it, and then you can roll it in herbs that are appropriate. And then you can also take other candles of different colors of wax that are appropriate to what you're doing and drip them down that candle as well. And then you have one beautiful candle to burn that really has set your intention, and you put lots of magical intention into it. when you burn it. Then I have a little ruby mask, because, you know, you could do a little self-care there after your bath. And this is Recharge Mind and Restore Skin, and it's a ruby mask. And I can't remember which box I got these in. I don't remember, but they had different gems, and so to look at some of the different gems that you could utilize in whatever practice you're doing, and choose the gem mask for that to add some magical self-care to your ritual. And then, of course, we can't forget that I love my teas. So here's a tea that I got in Minding Your Wellness. It's called Heart and Soul Herbal Tea, and I chose it because it has lemon balm, hibiscus, rose petals, oat straw, hawthorn leaf, and hawthorn berries. So there's what's in it, and here's the beautiful tea. And I did open it when I did the box unopening, and it smells so good, so I can't wait to use it. And I'll probably use my little spoon that I got from Goddess Provisions with it. So a lot of people want to know how I'm utilizing the items that I got in the box, so I'm trying to kind of show you how I'm utilizing them in my practice. All right, now let's get on to some stones and such that I chose. You can choose little charms to utilize in your magic. If you're doing a pouch or a bottle, you could tie it to. Any of those types of rituals or practices or spells would be appropriate. And I just had this little tree of life. And so anything with any plants on it would be really appropriate for the month of May. So now let's talk about some of the stones that might be appropriate, and this certainly is not exhaustive. These are just a few that I pulled out of my collection that would be appropriate to use this month. You can easily search gemstones for May or crystals for Beltane and be able to get some of those, and to be able to get some really good information on different stones that you could utilize. Rose quartz is a great gem to use this month. Then another really good thing to look at for this month would be to use green stones. So look into any green stone that also matches your intention or what you're trying to accomplish. And they would be a great stone to use this month because of everything coming back to life and all the flowers blooming. So first I have some bloodstone here. And then another one of the pyramids of green aventurine. Then I have an emerald heart. And then malachite. So here's a polished one. And this is a beautiful raw. Then we have a beautiful garnet. And a Madagascar sapphire. I love these boxes because you can just pop it right outside the box and work with the stone and then put it back in the box. And they come with these little stands on them so that you can set them up, which is so nice because then you can see your stones, you can see what you have, and you're not dusting a bunch of stones sitting around on a table. So those are just a few of the stones that you could choose to work with in the month of May. Write in the comments below and let me know other stones that you'll be utilizing in your May practices and why you're choosing them. So we touched just a little bit on Beltane earlier in the Tamed Wild book. I wanted to go to some Etsy stores and feature what they had with their Beltane boxes and such. So the first Etsy store we're going to talk about is the WitchesSupply, and I purchased their Beltane box, which was $17.50 and came out to a total of $26.88. And the owner, the only name on the correspondence is Iron Witch. Thank you so much, Iron Witch, has kindly given us the code KARMA10 for you to receive 10% discount on her store at Etsy. Now, I don't get anything for you using these coupons. I just reached out to the owners to see if they would be willing to extend my subscribers a discount code. So go check out these stores and see what they have to offer. Now, the Beltane kit that I received from WitchesSupply, the first thing you have is a nice little description of Beltane, and it talks about it beginning on May 1st, and that traditionally festivals of Gaelic people lit bonfires and did rituals that were done to protect their homes and their herds. And it's the bonfires were symbolic of the now returned sun, and they were used to relight the hearth at home, and all ashes were sprinkled along the boundaries of one's land for protection. Now, this Sabbath is a time when Fae are particularly close to the mortal world, and people make offerings to gain their favor, or at least ward off their mischief. Beltane marks a time when the summer of the half year begins, and it talks about a lot of Beltane's rituals have been lost, and that some have survived, including our Mayday celebrations that we have, with traditions that were similar to that. And we're going to see certain things that in these boxes that will be part of what you could use as a Mayday celebration if you don't celebrate Beltane. So flowers used to make crowns for themselves or decorate wreaths, bushes, along with bright ribbons and lights. And then, of course, the Maypole. She has a page on celebrating Beltane with different ideas for you, like lighting a fire, decorate with everything that's in the box and flowers, to leave out a gift for the Fae, and then to tie colorful ribbons on trees and branches. Now, if you're going to do it out in the wild, you might want to get ribbon that is eco-friendly and will dissolve in the next rain, especially if it's not your property. But the Beltane box, she has a list of what's in it, and I will show it to you now. So first, she has a big chunk of rowan wood sticks, and I think that's so fun. If you're going to make a fire, I think that is so fun to utilize. If you're doing a bigger fire, you could just start it with these sticks. You could also use them to decorate. So I was really excited to have them. Then we have a big bag of hawthorn berries. And again, they could be utilized in a tea. You could put them in your bath. You can use them to decorate. You could use them in a little bowl as an offering, that kind of thing. Then we have some flowers. And to go along with that, just so you know what the flowers might be for, here's a little wreath. Then we have a whole little pile of different colored ribbons. And one green ribbon that was separate. So you can use all of the ribbons and the little flowers to decorate that wreath as well. And then you could use it as an offering and leave it out, or you could put it on your altar or on your meditation area to remind you of the intentions that you've set and to continue to bring those to fruition. Then we have a little vial here with some different flowers in it. And with this, you could utilize this in so many different ways. You could use this as a spell bottle and leave the flowers in it, add some gems, some essential oils, some water or oil. You can make an oil out of it and use a carrier oil with some essential oils, some stones, and leave these in it. You could make it even more magical by putting a wax seal or drawing a sigil on it. And then if you have that oil, you can use that for the whole month, which is really nice to remind you of your ceremony as you utilize that oil during the month. And then there are 3 candles in here. So a nice little box. I think she did a good job of putting it together. The total of $26.88. I can see the value in the box, and I think it was worth the money. So the last Etsy store that I'm going to talk about, she's an Arizona-based store, and I was super excited to support her and to see what she had to offer on different items that you could purchase to help celebrate Beltane. And the name of this Etsy store is CrimsonSageApoth, and I will have their link in the video description. And she also has been generous enough to give us a code of Karma10 in order for my subscribers to get 10% off of their box. Now, I ordered a little bit from her that I'll show you first, and then was so excited working with her and figuring out that she was a local Arizona store. I went ahead and purchased her largest Beltane box and used that Karma 10 discount and received the 10% discount on that so that I could show it in this video as well. So let's see what she had in her store to help us celebrate May. So the first order that I did from Courtney at CrimsonSageApoth was a Maypole for Beltane or Mayday altar that was $32.95. And I also ordered a May Queen Harvest doll for Beltane or Mayday altar, which was $18.50. So those two together came out to a total of $54.70 with free shipping. So this is the first box that came. And so it was packed really nicely for a perfect box for this Maypole. And it's so pretty. Really, really well made, really sturdy. It's not going to fall over in the wind if you're doing something outside. Isn't that gorgeous? So it's got the ribbons up at the top, and this kind of is a free-flowing with the pretty roses on the very tip top, and then the roses throughout. And look at the Maypole there. Isn't that pretty? And then the ribbons that come down. Now, of course, with just me, I can't wrap the Maypole and make it into a pretty design. So, you know, you have to have a lot more maidens than just one. There's too many ribbons for a girl. So that's a beautiful Mayday. It says, Beltane Maypole. Mayday is often celebrated with a May King and Queen, symbolizing the union of the god and goddess. A May Queen is chosen to lead the festivities and begin the crossing of ribbons at the Maypole. The Maypole was often decorated as a rood surrounded in flowers and ribbons to symbolize the tree of life, or in Celtic traditions, the sacred oak or hawthorn trees. Dancing around the Maypole was a ceremonial tradition by ancient peoples in hope of a large crop during harvest season. Nowadays, the Maypole can represent our own growth and ideas and spirit. As it represents the strength and prowess of a tree, the growth of plants and flowers, and the intertwining of roots and fate. And then it gives directions on how you would use a maypole. Super pretty. I'm excited to have that and put it on my practice table. It helped to remind me of the beautiful blossoming flowers outside, all the colors and everything coming to life. Then I told you I got the May Queen doll. And she is so pretty. May Queen Spring Harvest doll. And I already read a little bit about her, so I'm not going to read. This is the back. And this is the front. And I got purple because purple's my favorite. Let's see if I can move this around. It's got that little... Isn't she pretty? And she will stand with her little dress, and if she has a hard time, she is standing with no problem, but if she were to have a hard time standing, you can just mist the bottom of these corn stalks and move them out just a little bit and let them reharden so that she'll stand pretty. But she's gonna go by my maypole. So she also sent me a little gift. I told her I was using this in my YouTube video, and so she sent me just a really pretty little ribbon that I can dance with. Or it's really pretty just sitting in something, and as a reminder again of Beltane and May. Now the biggest box that I got was also from her store, so let me get that out and show it to you. Okay, so this was the Beltane Mayday Altar and Rituals Curios set. It was $159.95, but I did get my 10% discount and free shipping, so it came out to $153.02. So there were several different choices that you could make with this box. One was a drawstring bag with everything in it, and that is still available. It is $68.95. Then there was a box set, and I'll show you the box in a minute. They are sold out. Then there was the box with the cauldron, which is the set that I purchased, that was the $59.95. And then there was also a bag with the cauldron. So you had several different choices. Right now, the only thing that's not sold out is the drawstring bag, which was $68.95. These are pre-order. I ordered them several weeks ago. You might want to check out her store if you're looking for ritual items, like about a month to 6 weeks ahead. And a lot of them are pre-order, and then they get shipped out closer to when that holiday would happen. But still in plenty of time. I received this and probably about a week before May 1st, so you would have plenty of time to go through and develop the practices and rituals that you might want to utilize with it. So here's the box, and when you open it up, it has some paperwork in the top that's all in plastic that we'll look at, and then the other items are down below in the box. So let's open this up. First off, here is her card. And it does say CrimsonSageAZ.com, which must be her website, but she also has CrimsonSageApoth, A-P-O-T-H, as her Etsy store, and I will have both of those linked in the video description below. So the first thing we have is a beautiful card with a picture here. Danu and Belle. As a cross-quarter holiday and one of the most celebrated fire festivals of this Celtic will, Beltane is is the hinge of the changing of the seasons from spring to summer, with representations of both sides of the wheel. And it goes on from there. Because it's a hinge in the wheel, it's also a time when the veil thins and fairies and ancestors join the physical realm. A time to harness the earth's renewing energies, to inspire us to discover where our passions lie, what creative forces are growing within us, and fulfilling that which we desire. Beautiful. Now, the paperwork gives you great information on Beltane, on Mayday. It has Mayday as a cross-quarter day and goes into that. Then it has altar and seasonal correspondences, candles of blue, green, gold, orange, pink, red, white, and yellow. Stones are adventurine, aquamarine, bloodstone, carnelian, citrine, emerald, malachite, red jasper, rhodonite, rose quartz, and Shiva lingam, which I just got in one of my boxes. I'm so excited. I've been wanting one, and it's perfect to get it for this month of May. Flowers and herbs: birch bark, blue thistle, calendula, cornflower, hawthorn, dandelion, mallow, meadowsweet, oak, primrose, rose, rue, tulips, and violets. And decor would be antlers, bees, cauldron, fairies, flames, flowers, flower crowns and garlands, goats, goddess statue, maypole, oak king, ribbons, solar wheel, and trees. Then she has some different rituals and things that you can do, which I really appreciate, and that's what most of these pages are. I'm not going to go into each one, but I may choose one later on this month and do it and videotape it as part of my Beltane ceremony and share it with all of you. But she's got a Beltane candle blessing, Danu and Bell, invoking Bell, Waters of Danu ritual bath, invoking Danu and Del for sex magic, the May tree, Mayday blessing ritual, Hawthorn blessing ritual that includes the triple goddess, maiden, mother, and crone, a Mayday and Maypole, blossoming May queen ritual tea, fairies during Beltane and some of the ideas you can do for fairies, fairy ring and offering, a charm bag ritual, rosebud ritual, and harnessing the primordial self. And then she has a page for you for your notes. So let me just kind of show you what these look like. Really well done. And this is where a bulk of the time has gone into on this box, to putting together this beautiful packet with lots of different things that you could look through and choose from. And you know, on my channel, that's really important, because I want to develop different ceremonies and rituals and practices that anyone can utilize, no matter what their spiritual background is, so that we're here to support one another and strengthen one another. So here's what the pages look like. And this is on really nice quality paper. It's going to be around for a long time, and the fact that it's in the plastic will really make it even nicer. So this is like really nice resume paper. So it's a beautiful quality, beautiful aesthetic to it. So let me show you what I got in the box. So first thing is, I talked to you and told you that you could get it in a bag, in a box, with a cauldron, with a box and a cauldron, and I got the box and cauldron, and this box is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. So pretty. Really good quality. It's got a nice lock on, or clasp on it, and when you open it, you've got everything inside. So in one little box for Beltane, you've got everything that you need. And we'll go through what's in the inside in just a minute. Then there was another little ribbon wand here. So cute. And I'll put those probably, I might give one to my grandson because he loves playing with ribbons. I have some of the long gymnastic ones and he just sits there and plays with them all day. So really pretty, and I like that there were 3 different colors of ribbons on this one. Of course it has purple. Purple's my favorite color, so you can't go wrong with me in purple. Then there's another little bag in here, and this is the cauldron. And I did want the cauldron and the box. I splurged. This was before I bought the house. So first you have your stand here, and I'm not going to open it up, but it's just a beautiful wooden stand that will open. Well, I'll open it up. I'm thinking of moving with all this, you know. So you've got your beautiful stand here. Use the box. Oops, and it goes like this. Yeah. I don't know which way yet. I'll see which way works better. But there's your beautiful stand. And then here's the cauldron. It was so pretty, I had to get it. Look at that. It's like beaten brass. I want to say it's brass. Isn't that pretty? It reminds me of my Tibetan bowls, I think is why I like it so much. And of course that's just gorgeous that you could do moon water in, you could do incense in, you could do any of your fire spells in. Just really an all-purpose. I also like it because you could even do candles in it. Sometimes I have candles that are going to burn lots and lots of wax, and so to have a large receptacle like this so that it will catch the wax is nice. And it will clean up really nicely too. So, ugh. And so if we set it down on our little stand, there it is. Isn't that pretty? Got a beautiful new cauldron offering plate. Anything I want it to be. It's magical. It can have all kinds of uses. And let's get into what she has inside the Beltane kit. We've already talked about lots of the different herbs and stones and oils, so I'm sure that a lot that's in here is going to go right along with what we're talking about. So first we have a rune. An Algiz rune is a symbol of protection, strength, and courage, and connection to nature. It resembles that of a maypole or tree, the foundation of Beltane and the celebration at Mayday. As such, it is fortified to the earth, connecting us to our roots, the process of growth and fruition. These are also central themes of Beltane. This rune also symbolizes the fire at Beltane that rises toward the sun, which is getting higher and higher before reaching summertime. The fire also represents strength and passion, and it's just a little wooden rune. And that's really nice. I like that little touch that you could utilize on your altar. You could use it for a meditation. I see some twisty candles. I love these. So this is a great way to utilize your different color magic and in your rituals. You can get these candles, and that way you could take 2, 3, 4 of them with the colors that you wanted. You can add something like black in there for protection, white in there for purification, along with the colors that are specific to the rituals you're doing. We've talked a little bit about why these colors in particular go with Beltane, but again, green for the new growth. You've got all different colors for flowers, and then you've got the gold and the orange for fires at Beltane, and red. So a lot of colors that could work for Beltane depending on your purpose. And that's the other thing. Look at what you're wanting to accomplish. If you're doing an intention setting ceremony, what is your intention and what colors would go well with that? And if they're the Beltane colors as well, that just gives you that extra magical boost for your candle and fire magic. Then we have Shiva Lingam, and remember I was so excited because I got a really big one in my last crystal box. But it talks about Shiva Lingam. With the turning of the wheel at Beltane, we reach and place a balance in nature amongst the realms and ourselves. Shiva Lingam also invokes these feelings of balance. Its egg shape represents both feminine and masculine qualities, the physical and ethereal realms, and helps to restore emotional, mental, and spiritual balance. Shiva Lingam come from the Narmada River, one of the 7 holiest rivers in India, and is named after the Hindu goddess Shiva, making it a symbol of the infinite universe. It is also said to inspire unity and practic energy, which utilizes life force energy for healing. And then here's an emerald. So 2 beautiful stones to work with from this box. And both are in the list that I was talking about too. Then we have a beautiful little bag with some rosebuds in it. Really pretty. Okay, but again, we can utilize those in so many ways. We can put them in bath salts. We can utilize them as part of incense burning. We could crush them up and put them in our wax seals. So many things. We could drink tea and throw a couple of the rosebuds in the tea. Although I would warn you that probably something that you get in a box like this that's you don't know where it's been, or that's pesticides where they purchased it from, so I probably wouldn't use those in a tea. Okay, now we have some different things all wrapped up in plastic. First we have a Beltane anointing oil. It says bergamot, geranium, grapefruit, neroli, ylang-ylang, and sweet almond oil. Smells yummy. Really nice. And you've got some of the rosebuds in there. And again, in the rituals that she has listed on her papers, she has different ways that you could utilize this anointing oil within your practice. But if you didn't want to do any of those practices, again, just that little pick-me-up of Beltane and reminding you of your growth and everything that's happening. Then we have May Queen of Fruit and Flower, Marvel and Moon for Crimson Sage. So they must have had these made by Marvel Moon. It says, adorned with rose petals, calendula, and bloodstone, pieces for enchanting vitality, confidence, passion, and creativity. Oh, how pretty. It's a beautiful candle. So pretty. Oh, it smells heavenly. Oh, y'all. I could just go upstairs now and light this candle, and yeah. I'll keep taping. I could just go upstairs and take a bath right now and light that. That's so beautiful. But I will wait. I will wait and use it for a special ceremony, probably on May 1st. All right, now what we have left is these that are all wrapped in bubble wrap. Ooh. So we have 2 big vials. One says Waters of Danu Watery Bath Soak. So this is a Beltane Bath Ritual Soak. Look how pretty. I'm not going to open to smell it, but you can see all the beautiful flowers and salts in there. Now, I would take, if you have a small tea bag that's reusable, I would go ahead and throw this into a tea bag so that all those petals, they'll color your water. You'll get the beautiful scent and everything out of the herb you want, but you won't have to clean up your bathtub afterwards. And then she has another gorgeous vial that says Beltane Ritual Tea, May Queen Loose Leaf Tea for inspiring emotional healing, love, and desire with organic orange pekoe, crinoline black tea, organic strawberries and cherries, and candied rose petals. Steep 1 to 2 tablespoons in hot water for about 5 minutes. And again, she's got the beautiful seal on the top. So pretty. You know me, I love my teas. That's gorgeous. Now it does look like, because that said that it was a black tea, that is going to have caffeine in it. So be aware of that if you're sensitive to caffeine. What do we have in here? Ooh. So we have 3 different little vials, and it looks like these are herbs that we can use. This one says hawthorn berries, so we've got a nice vial of hawthorn berries. Hawthorn flower. That's nice. I don't have any hawthorn flower. Excited to add that to my herbal collection. And, ooh, this is awesome too. Hawthorn thorn. How fun is that? And there's 2 of them. Very nice. Oh, I'm excited to see what we're going to utilize those for. 2 more little packages. This one, primordial clay mask, and I did see that in the last ritual, the primordial ritual, that you would be utilizing this. And she did have different ways that you can utilize it, that you can mix it up and then put it on your face and utilize the part. You can also use it like as a body paint, that you could do sigils or different symbols that would remind you of the practice that you're doing. So really nice touches in this box, some really different items that you might not have thought to use. So I think it would really enhance your practice for the month of May, and you literally would be able to utilize it for years to come and just go buy a few things more from her store here and there, or add yourself. And the last thing in the box is a Fairy Queen Cleansing Room Spray, Beltane Room Spray, for attracting that which is desired, with a high floral scent of geranium, jasmine, and rose, distilled water, witch hazel, and garnet pieces. Can be used as a room spray for linens and body. You shake it up. You can tell it has lots of really nice essential oils in it, the way it shakes. And then there are the flowers or the garnets in there as well. But it's a dark bottle, so you're not going to probably see the garnets. There is 2 garnets in there, which is really nice, because afterwards you can either utilize this, put more oils in it, and make more. You've got the ingredients right there. Or you can take the stones out and set them out as an offering, or use them on a crystal grid, and continue to utilize this bottle for something else. Let's see how it smells. Oh, that smells so good. I'm smelling the geranium and the rose and the jasmine. Oh, those are some of my favorite flowers, so 2 thumbs up for that one. I like the Fairy Queen Cleansing Room Spray. I will use that until it's gone, I'm sure. So what a great box. I do think that this was the most comprehensive box that I saw while I was looking, and I do think that a lot of time and effort's gone into this to give us some great ideas to use for our May practice in celebrating May, Mayday, National Prayer Day, and Beltane. So we talked a little bit about the Fae being really an important part of May, and that the veil is thin, and so the Fae come out to play, per se. And so I wanted to show you this little fairy Bible that I got on Amazon. And it's a great little book to introduce you to all kind of fairy folk. It includes everything, not just fairies. It has, let's see, Realm of the Fairies, Water Fairies, Air Fairies, Fire, Earth Fairies, House and Hearth Fairies, Flower Fairies, Tree Fairies, Weather Fairies, and a lot of them as you go through are like mermaids, air fairies, all the different entities like earth fairies. Like earth fairies include elements of the earth, the leprechaun, dwarfs, knockers, Caradwen, Pan of the goat's feet, pixies, Gwynapnud, I don't know Gwynapnud, the Green Man, Robin Hood, giants. So it gives you an idea that it's not just fairies, it's all the fairy folk or all the magical folk within all of those realms. So a great resource for you if you wanted to work with fairies. Just remember, fairies can be a little trickster, so make sure that you leave them nice little offerings. They can be a little feisty, so I was watching one girl on her fairy videos as I was trying to do a little bit of research, and you know, she says she always, if she's missing something, asks the fairies to please bring it back and gives them something in return, and then she finds her item, usually in a really obvious place like the middle of the living room floor. So I thought that was cute. I did get this little statuette, and I will be doing a future video on fairies and making fairy gardens, but I did want to just give you a little sneak peek of a couple of the things that I got, including that fairy Bible to be able to show you. And here's the most adorable statuette that I got when I was in Sedona last, of a little fairy in a nest. I think she is so cute, and the Sedona vlog will show you. And then down in the bottom you put stones or water or whatever you want. So I thought she would be just adorable. And as part of that video, I've started, but I haven't finished this and haven't made the other ones that I'm going to do live. But this is kind of a little sneak peek of a fairy garden that I made. I made the little door in the back there with clay, and then the rest of the little fairy garden there that I can put out in my yard, or like my RV if we're going camping. I can throw this outside. I've got to finish painting it, and if you are going to leave it outside like that, you might want to spray it with something protectant and make sure that things are tacked down so that they're not blowing all over and littering. But that video will be coming up in the next little while, so look for that as we make fairy gardens together. The other thing that I wanted to show you for May is what we just got in the Tamed Wild box. And Tamed Wild was calling earth spirits. And so I am going to utilize, since I thought this is perfect for Beltane and for the month of May. And this is the one that had the little cat totem in it. And then we have the Earthly Spirits Artisan Tea. So I can utilize that. And this tea, just in case you want ideas on what you could do. And remember, you can just choose one of these. So like peppermint leaf. If you have peppermint, you could just make peppermint tea. You don't have to have everything. But this one has fennel seed, flax, fenugreek seed, licorice root, and peppermint leaf. And then, as always, Tamed Wild has our little ritual all written out with what to do with our little totem. And I'm not going to read that because I am thinking of doing that as part of my May practices that I may videotape and share with you. And then they had the booklet, and I love these booklets. So Earth and Animal Spirits. So again, if I didn't have my fairy Bible, here's all the different kinds of animals and what they stand for. This would also be great for dream interpretation because you can look at the animals and see what they stand for. In here is also an introduction to elves, types of elves, and it has some different types there. And then it has introduction to trolls, types of trolls, introduction to tree spirits, types of tree spirits, and then introduction to goblins and types of goblins. So this was in the April Tamed Wild box, so I don't know if they have any left, but I thought this would be great to utilize in our practice this month. And then they also came with this beautiful Tree of Life altar cloth. You can utilize that for your card readings or for any of your practices setting up. And the color of green, perfect for May, as well as the Tree of Life. What are your plans to celebrate Beltane and the month of May? Please write in the comments below and let's share with each other some of our ideas that we're going to be utilizing. I'm trying to get these up at least a week before the month begins so that we have a chance to bounce off each other and really develop some meaningful practices for ourselves. Just remember that we're all here to learn from each other and to help each other and to sustain each other on our own spiritual path. So I want to keep it really positive and, you know, like your mom used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But I think that we can give each other great ideas, things that we might not have thought of, and ways that we can adapt some of the things that we're utilizing to make the practice our own and make it even more magical and more meaningful. So I really enjoyed being with you today. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and come back to the channel where you can say, "Karma's my friend." Happy magical month of May, y'all.